Even when so many people are getting into cryptocurrency investments, there are still few investors who don't want to invest in cryptocurrencies. The younger generation of investors is the one that invests in these digital currencies. The reason why people are still not investing in Bitcoin is due to the fact that they don't know how it works. So today, we're going to explain how it all goes down. Hey there guys, and welcome back to another video from us. Today we're going to talk about how Bitcoin works, but before we begin, in case you're not a part of the community, you can become one by subscribing to our channel for more videos just like this. And also, if you enjoy what we do, then give us a big thumbs up and ding that notification bell so you never miss another content update from us. With all that out of the way, let's get into it. From 2007 to 2009, we had experienced the Great Recession, where people had witnessed economic slowdowns in many countries. Many industries went down south and people lost their money and jobs, and those years were not pleasant for anybody. But it was at that same time we had the very first cryptocurrency by the name Bitcoin, and the rest, well, that's history. This particular history is an exciting thing to discuss because of how Bitcoin has evolved over the years. Bitcoin is very different from the currencies that we're used to, and this particular digital currency is here today to solve the problems that we had with centralized fiat currencies. Yes, Bitcoin is entirely digital, which does mean that you cannot toss it into your pocket as you do with fiat currencies. For people that are new to Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies in general, it might be really difficult for you to understand how it works. But you're going to be well equipped with knowledge of how Bitcoin works by the end of this video. We promise. The primary thing that you should know about Bitcoin is that it's entirely decentralized, which means that there is no governments or any sort of central banks that control the supply of the network or of Bitcoin itself. The entire Bitcoin network is controlled by a group of users called miners, and they're responsible for everything that happens in the network. Bitcoin uses blockchain technology, and we have already made an in-depth video on that, so you definitely need to check it out after this video. But for the sake of this video, let us explain what blockchain is. Every Bitcoin transaction is recorded on a blockchain, which is a group of computers that can store data. But that's quite an oversimplified explanation for blockchain. A blockchain is the digital ledger of transactions, which is then duplicated and distributed across a wide network of purpose-built computers, which help to run the blockchain. Even before Bitcoin, there were so many attempts for a digital coin, but the problem was that anything digital is that copies of it can be made easily, and the blockchain technology that Bitcoin uses put an end to it. Bitcoin uses the proof of work algorithm, which does require miners to solve complex mathematical puzzles, and the first one to solve these puzzles will then be rewarded in Bitcoins. The miners are also required to verify transactions on the blockchain. These mathematical problems are very complex in nature, and you need to have computers that are built specifically for mining Bitcoin. The entire reason behind such a complicated process is so to prove the trust of the network, which is essential for any payment-based network. Things get even more complicated whenever the difficulty level is adjusted after every 2016 blocks, or roughly every 2 weeks, in order to keep the mining rates constant. When more miners attempt to find a solution for a complex mathematical problem, the more difficult it will become, which ends up keeping the mining rates constant, and this will control the rate of supply. Now, by solving the mathematical problem, what the miners are actually doing is to come up with a 64-digit hexadecimal number, called a hash, and these miners need to come up with the right hash, and they also need to be the first ones to do so. This is more like a guesswork, so you do need to have a powerful mining-specific computer because the speed of your computer will determine how fast you can solve the problem. Fun fact, during the initial days of Bitcoin, you didn't actually need any powerful computer to do these, but when miners had realized they could get things done much faster with computer graphic cards, the race for building the best computer to solve these puzzles was born. The reward in Bitcoin acts as an incentive for these miners to be able to continue to work hard and make the network secure whenever they add a new block of transactions to the blockchain. The amount of new Bitcoin that is released by these miners whenever a new block is mined is called the block reward, and the rewards then get reduced to half every 210,000 blocks, or after every 4 years. If back in 2009 the reward was 25 Bitcoin, then as of May 2020, the reward was 6.25 Bitcoin. The reason for this is to reduce the rate of supply of Bitcoin into the market, and this low supply and high demand situation is what helps to determine the price of Bitcoin. Bitcoin has got a supply cap of 21 million coins, and out of that, more than 18 million coins are already in circulation. This supply cap also plays a significant role in the price of Bitcoin because the fact is that Bitcoin is a finite asset. So you could say that without these Bitcoin miners, you won't have any Bitcoin transactions, and you also won't have any confirmations to validate the authenticity of your Bitcoin, and there won't be any new coins in the market if miners weren't able to be rewarded in Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a highly volatile asset, which means that the prices will keep on fluctuating, and the year 2021 is an example of the volatility of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin also doesn't have an intrinsic value, and what that means is that the currency is not backed up by tangible assets, such as silver or gold. Bitcoin rather derives its value from what people are willing to pay for it, considering the usability and hype around it. Even though the original idea behind Bitcoin is to use it instead of fiat currencies, today people invest in Bitcoin considering it to be a speculative asset, which means people will buy it now and then sell it when the prices are higher than what they initially bought it for. The prices of Bitcoin are also influenced by the cost of processing a single Bitcoin through the mining process, which we discussed earlier. It's also going to depend on how well the miners are rewarded for their mining Bitcoin. Government regulations, along with media hype, do play a significant role in Bitcoin prices, and we can confirm it from the fact that whenever Elon Musk tweets about Bitcoin, there were changes in the prices, and Elon Musk's tweets also had a major role in the very recent crypto market crash. The rapid rise in the popularity of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies had ended up causing regulators to debate how to classify such digital assets. Now, not everything is great about how Bitcoin works, and that's raised a lot of eyebrows over the years. The speed of the Bitcoin network is very slow due to the complicated mining process, and as of August 2020, the network can only do 4 transactions per second, versus when you compare that to Visa can process around 65,000 transactions per second. When more people end up using the Bitcoin network for payments in Bitcoin, the number of transactions per second will end up getting reduced even further. Another thing to consider here is that the environmental impact of Bitcoin mining does affect its cost. Mining requires a lot of computational power, which requires a lot of energy. And when Bitcoin transactions become mainstream, our dependence on fossil fuel-based energy will accelerate over time. What this does is it makes the entire operation extremely bad for the environment, considering that today we're trying to promote renewable energy sources. Tesla even discontinued Bitcoin payments, citing the same reason, and the company will continue to accept payments in Bitcoin once the network switches to a renewable source of energy. So, to sum things up, we're taking a completely digital approach with our education system, and remote working is now a thing, all thanks to the pandemic. So, when we're entirely transitioning to a digital world, digital payments using our phones are common now, and there are high chances that we'll soon be able to pay with our essentials using digital currencies like Bitcoin. But when that will happen, we're gonna have to wait and see on that. Today, so many different companies are even investing in Bitcoin, and we also have many other institutional investors trying to get into the entire market with Bitcoin investments, and all these are quite a positive sign for those who are investing in Bitcoin. The future of currency is digital, and there is no doubt about it, but whether that's going to be cryptocurrency such as Bitcoin is still a highly debatable topic. That being said, Bitcoin is still relatively safe due to the cryptography and robust protocols that run the blockchain of Bitcoin. And today, Bitcoin is readily available through several exchanges. You also do have the option to buy Bitcoin in fractions, which means you can also try your luck with Bitcoin investments. Oh, and by the way, this video is not meant to be taken seriously. It's really only for educational and entertainment purposes, meaning that you shouldn't be considering this video actual financial advice. Instead, if you want to invest in Bitcoin, keep in mind that they're highly volatile assets, and invest the money that you're willing to lose and invest in assets that you clearly understand. So with all that said, we've now come to the end of our video. What do you guys think about Bitcoin? And will the future of money actually be Bitcoin or maybe another cryptocurrency? We would love to hear from you, so please let us know in the comments section below. Also, drop a like for the video if you're excited about the decentralized digital currency, And as a gentle reminder, please subscribe to our channel for more content just like this one, and ding that notification bell so you never miss another content update from us. Until next time, folks, we'll see you later.